Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Ruckin the Track. Obviously, we're not rucking, and obviously, we're not around the track. I'm heading to work right now because I got called in. I got scheduled for an early shift, so I'm going to actually do my Ruck March on my lunch break today and then go to the gym after work again. But I heard something yesterday that kind of got my wheels spinning. Thinking about giving your best and how sometimes you're giving your best just doesn't cut it. It's not good enough. But then I heard somebody say something else that kind of made me think a little bit deeper about that. We usually try our best when we go into something. Say we have a test coming up or a job interview, or we have a project coming up or a game coming up. We have something coming up and we're working for it, we're training for it or studying for it, and that day shows up, and of course we do our best. We do our best at it that day to try to win. Say we don't win, say we come in second place, or even we get our fucking asses kicked and get spanked and just completely flunk the test, completely bomb the interview, completely bomb the fucking sales call, right? Whatever it is. We walk away and we say, we gave our best. I gave it my best. You tried my best, but did you do everything possible to be successful? Now, that doesn't mean that means leading up to it. And I was thinking about that a lot with my son, and how I always tell my son, hey bro, you go into your test today, you go for your game, whether you win or lose, I just want to make sure you try your best. I want to make sure you do your best in there. And of course, that's what we want. But do we demand or expect or require that our kids not only do our best the day of, but what about doing everything that they could do to have passed that test? What if they gave their best the day of the test and flunked out, but yet they studied for maybe 30 minutes or an hour each day, when in order to pass that test and you can get an A, it would have required 3 or 4 hours of study? Did they really do their best? Did do everything? If you have a sales meeting coming up, if you have a sales call coming up, and you do a little bit of research on the prospect, you jump on the phone and you bust out all the lines, you handle all the objections, and they still walk away and say, you know what, let me go think about it, and you talk to my wife, they still bring out an objection, and you hang up. Well, I tried my best to get them to buy, but did you do everything needed to do leading up to that call to make it successful? Did you do everything leading up to that test, leading up to that game? And a lot of the times, 99% of the times, if we did not come away successful, it's because no, we didn't do everything we needed to do. We did what we felt like doing, but we didn't do more than what we felt like doing. And that's why we didn't come away successful. That's why there was failure. I didn't do as good as I wanted to in a competition. 9 times out of 10, it wasn't because I didn't try my best that day at the competition. It's because I didn't do everything that I had to do or needed to do to be as successful as I wanted to be. When it required, if it required training X amount of time or X amount of reps or this many sets, if I didn't do that, I did just what I felt like doing, and I give my best the day of the competition, I'm not doing everything I needed to do, and I'm going to fail. But on the flip side of that, I also believe that if you do everything that you can do, if you do everything that you can do, which means that if it requires for you to study 10 hours a day to pass an exam, and you just don't have 10 hours, you can't, but you dedicate 6 hours a day, and you make that 6 hours as efficient as you can, you do everything that you can do, and say you walk away with a B, well, then you did give your best, because you gave it everything you had leading up to that day. And this is what we all have to do. We all have to remember that. Father, did I do my best? Do I do my best every day at being a father? Yes, I do my best, but I'm not doing everything that I can do to better myself. Not all the time, because there's so much more that I could be doing. There's so much more that I'm capable of doing to better myself that I still don't always do, and that none of us do that. But if you're working 10 or 11 or 12 hours a day to provide a nice financial life for your family, but you're coming home tired because you ate shit food all day long, because you ate at 7-Eleven and Jack in the Box, if you're coming home unmotivated or low frequency, low rate of vibration because you didn't feel like going to the gym because you worked a 12-hour day, and so you come home with low energy and a low frequency and you bring that to your family. If you know your wife enjoys looking at a man with a very nice body but you loves you either way, why are you going to give her a lesser version of yourself? Why are you not going to give her the body that she loves to look at? Yes, she loves you even though you have a dad bod. See, that's what it is. They don't love your dad bod. They don't love your fucking gut and tits. Your wife doesn't love your dad bod. Your wife loves you even though you have that dad bod. See, there's a fucking difference. There is a big difference. And when you realize that she actually prefers to see the ripped fucking guy, why don't you give her that as well? Why don't you give her your best version?